When one door of happiness closes, another opens, but often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. I would rather walk with a friend in the dark, than alone in the light. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Death is no more than passing from one room into another. But there's a difference for me, you know. Because in that other room I shall be able to see. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it. Keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. The most pathetic person in the world is someone who has sight but no vision. What we once enjoyed and deeply loved we can never lose, for all that we love deeply becomes a part of us. Never bend your head, hold it high, look the world straight in the eye. I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble. The highest result of education is tolerance. People don't like to think. If one thinks, one must reach conclusions. Conclusions are not always pleasant. Science may have found a cure for most evils, but it has found no remedy for the worst of them all: the apathy of human beings. What I'm looking for is not out there, it is in me. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world. Literature is my utopia. A bend in the road is not the end of the road, unless you fail to make the turn. Happiness does not come from without, it comes from within. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Many persons have a wrong idea of what constitutes true happiness. It is not attained through self-gratification but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Face your deficiencies and acknowledge them, but do not let them master you. Let them teach you patience, sweetness, insight. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. When we do the best that we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life, or in the life of another. Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. I believe that God is in me as the sun is in the color and fragrance of a flower, the light in my darkness, the voice in my silence. So long as you can sweeten another's pain, life is not in vain. 4 things to learn in life: to think clearly without hurry or confusion, to love everybody sincerely, to act in everything with the highest motives, to trust God unhesitatingly. Self-pity is our worst enemy, and if we yield to it, we can never do anything good in the world. No pessimist ever discovered the secret of the stars or sailed an uncharted land, or opened a new doorway for the human spirit. Literature is my utopia. Here I am not disenfranchised. No barrier of the senses shuts me out from the sweet, gracious discourses of my book friends. They talk to me without embarrassment or awkwardness. The unselfish effort to bring cheer to others will be the beginning of a happier life for ourselves. We can do anything we want as long as we stick to it long enough. My friends have made the story of my life. Knowledge is love and light and vision. So much has been given to me I have not time to ponder over that which has been denied. College isn't the place to go for ideas. Your success and happiness lie in you. To keep our faces toward change, and behave like free spirits in the presence of fate, is strength undefeatable. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadows. It's what the sunflowers do. I do not want the peace which passeth understanding, I want the understanding which bringeth peace. Faith is the strength by which a shattered world shall emerge into light. There is no better way to thank God for your sight than by giving a helping hand to someone in the dark. We bereaved are not alone. We belong to the largest company in all the world, the company of those who have known suffering. Believe, when you are most unhappy, that there is something for you to do in the world. So long as you can sweeten another's pain, life is not in vain. One painful duty fulfilled makes the next plainer and easier. I thank God for my handicaps. For through them, I have found myself, my work and my God. Toleration is the greatest gift of the mind. It requires the same effort of the brain that it takes to balance oneself on a bicycle. While they were saying it couldn't be done, it was done. Blindness separates people from things. Deafness separates people from people. Until the great mass of the people shall be filled with the sense of responsibility for each other's welfare, social justice can never be attained. Do not think of today's failures, but of the success that may come tomorrow. There is beauty in everything, even in silence and darkness. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight and no vision. It is wonderful how much time good people spend fighting the devil. If they would only expend the same amount of energy loving their fellow men, the devil would die in his own tracks of ennui. As the eagle was killed by the arrow winged with his own feather, so the hand of the world is wounded by its own skill. My friends have made the story of my life. In 1,000 ways they have turned my limitations into beautiful privileges. As selfishness and complaint pervert and cloud the mind, so sex with its joy clears and sharpens the vision. The infinite wonders of the universe are revealed to us in exact measure as we are capable of receiving them. The keenness of our vision depends not on how much we can see, but on how much we feel. I rejoice to live in such a splendidly disturbing time. When one reads hurriedly and nervously, having in mind written tests and examinations, one's brain becomes encumbered with a lot of bric-a-brac for which there seems to be little use. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope. The most beautiful world is always entered through imagination. I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet. There is joy in self-forgetfulness. So I try to make the light in others' eyes my sun, the music in others' ears my symphony, the smile on others' lips my happiness. It's wonderful to climb the liquid mountains of the sky. Behind me and before me is God and I have no fears. A happy life consists not in the absence, but in the mastery of hardships. Great poetry needs no interpreter other than a responsive heart. Our enjoyment of the great works of literature depends more upon the depth of our sympathy than upon our understanding. It is so pleasant to learn about new things. Every day I find how little I know, but I do not feel discouraged since God has given me an eternity in which to learn more. If the blind put their hands in God's, they find their way more surely than those who see but have not faith or purpose. Unless we form the habit of going to the Bible in bright moments as well as in trouble, we cannot fully respond to its consolations because we lack equilibrium between light and darkness. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Security does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than exposure. If you can dream it, you can do it. The world is not moved only by the mighty shoves of the heroes, but also by the aggregate of the tiny pushes of each honest worker. True friends never apart may be in distance but never in heart. To me a lush carpet of pine needles or spongy grass is more welcome than the most luxurious Persian rug. Many people know so little about what is beyond their short range of experience. They look within themselves, and find nothing. Therefore they conclude that there is nothing outside themselves either. Love is like a beautiful flower which I may not touch, but whose fragrance makes the garden a place of delight just the same. I seldom think about my limitations, and they never make me sad. Perhaps there is just a touch of yearning at times, but it is vague, like a breeze among flowers. The struggle of life is one of our greatest blessings. It makes us patient, sensitive, and godlike. It teaches us that although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it.